you ever been in a situation where you felt completely and utterly powerless? How the situation seems to grow and grow until it's towering above everything else in your life, and you start to believe that there is no escape. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. In my last video, I described the things to know about Zion, and today I'm going to share my personal emotional experience I had at Zion. So if you don't like personal emotional anecdotes, this is not the video for you, and I will see you Friday for my regular travel content. If you can relate though, or are interested in why I'm here today, this is my story. You see, 1 year ago exactly from this footage, back in 2021, I was also in Zion, but with a completely different outlook on life. Back then, the canyon walls seemed impossibly large as they blocked the sun. The leaves were dying sooner because of the cold weather. And while I was in one of the most beautiful places in America, I couldn't help but focus on how small I felt, and of the situation waiting for me at home. For a large portion of my younger 20s, I was experiencing what it felt like to be powerless, because of one certain situation where I was unable to control the outcome, although God knows I really tried to control that situation. Perhaps you know what I mean: a natural disaster, an illness, a global pandemic, other people's actions, and other people's beliefs, to name a few. These powerless situations have come and gone throughout my life, but the one I'm talking about today involves how people's actions affected the beliefs of others in a very negative way. This went on for years. In the beginning, I tried to fight it whatever way I could, but they were fruitless efforts, and I would try to fight again, and I felt as if I was running full force into a brick wall. I was hurt, but the wall was still intact and unfazed. I chose this tactic for years, constantly running at the wall at different angles, trying to will it to move or to crumble. But all that did was tire me out, beat me up, and I started to lose all hope. It was at this breaking point that I decided to run away, even if it was just for a few weeks. And it was here in Zion in 2021 that I realized I didn't actually escape anything. I spent an entire afternoon sitting at the bench in front of Zion Lodge, looking up at the 100-foot-tall cottonwood tree as the leaves fell off, thinking about how I felt like that tree, sitting at the bottom of a huge canyon wall, slowly losing life and fighting me. That's the thing with feeling of powerlessness. It's easy to let it consume you, because you know there's nothing you could do about it directly to change the circumstance. Feelings of shame and failure set in for me, as the wall still hadn't budged, but I was battered and bruised from the fight, with nothing to show for it. I isolated myself and fantasized about running away for good. But at this point in my life, the feeling of powerlessness had completely consumed me, and I had given up as I reluctantly returned home from my road trip, knowing I was going to be that dying tree planted at the base of the towering canyon wall. This is when a guardian angel saved my life, just as I hit rock bottom. That guardian angel was my mom. You see, as moms do, my mom saw completely through my outer layer I was wearing to hide the shame of failure from everyone. And she gave me a new kind of power. The power of forgiveness and surrender. She made me see that you were never truly powerless, as we all have the power to make a choice. While I was choosing to fight a giant on my own and miserably failing at it, I had another choice: to surrender the situation and to choose to forgive and to choose to love. This day changed the course of my life and set me free of the fight I was losing. Over the course of the next 6 months, I stopped fighting and surrendered the situation, And wouldn't you know, cracks started forming in that wall. The cracks spread more and more until pieces of that wall started to crumble on their own. And by the summer of 2022, the wall had completely fallen down. With the wall gone, I was able to return to Zion 1 year later with a new set of eyes. Zion in the Bible refers to a physical location, but also a metaphorical kingdom of heaven on earth, a city of refuge where God protects his people from the evils of this world, a place of rest. And as I sat on the same bench that I did 1 year ago, I felt the sense of safety from evil, as the cottonwood tree was completely green and was strong and mighty looking against the canyon walls. I know there will be more walls to come throughout the course of my life, but I now know there is a choice I can make. Forgiveness is not an easy choice to make, and something I constantly work at choosing every day. Some days I try to choose it on my own and fail just like I did trying to take down that wall alone. Other days I'm able to surrender and forgive with some big help. I wanted to share my story with you today because for me, Zion is a special place on earth because of what it represents. Me at my lowest, but also me at my strongest. But it also represents a place of rest. Rest when I am weary from fighting, and rest when I feel peace. It's easy to look at videos of beautiful places and to fantasize that if you were there, everything will be better or be all right. I know because that's exactly what I did last year. I would look at pictures of national parks and think if I was there, my life would be better. But I'm here to attest to the fact that your problems do go with you. But I've learned that there is always a choice you can make. You are never truly powerless.